Are you putting it on there right now? Great, let's talk about it, Annie.
Okay.
Welcome to April's goings on at the boat shop. We're getting ready for spring. It's awfully nice out right now. It's like getting close to 70, I think, and sunny, which means everybody wants their boat. And speaking of it getting nice out and everybody wants their boat, y'all can have this. Anybody, just show up with a fistful of bucks and you can be sailing around in this here little Beetle Cat this summer. Beautiful little thing, ready to go. Ready to go. Turnkey, as they say. We kicked on the recording right now because John is about to epoxy down this Skeg and that shoe up there. So a Skeg, for you purists, is very unusual for a Banks dory, or for a dory in general. A sailing dory, it's more common. A Banks dory, it's very uncommon. The reason being it would get in the way of stacking and it would prevent you from spinning too easily, and it's just kind of, it's just not done, I guess. But in this case, it's a very light boat. You have plywood construction, so this is 3/8 ply on the sides, 5/8 on the bottom, so it's, the whole thing overall is pretty light. It's going to want to blow around quite a bit. And so the idea with the Skeg is that it's going to keep the owner going in a straight line much more easily and cause less frustration, so that's why we're adding it. And the shoe here is a common thing for us as well. This is just a sacrificial chunk of wood here at the bow. On a dory we would often do in bow and stern, but here you're pulling the boat up on the beach. When you see an old boat that doesn't have one of these, what you typically see is the bottom is pretty well worn away here, as is the edge of the garboard and the bottom. You're getting close to the bottom of the stem. Plus you have all the fasteners for the stem in here, all the fasteners for the planks in here. There's a lot going on and you want to cover that up and protect it. So if you intend to pull it up on the beach ever, then you want to have yourself a little shoe. So that's why we're doing that. Moving on around. We got some planks on this little lady earlier in the week. What's today? Last week? Last week. And this is waiting for shear planks. So again, we've got our lower part here with our epoxy and plywood construction and then traditional above. And this is, this boat plank's kind of funny in that it's, I think the bottom width is wider than you would typically have for a dory of this size, and so the planks aren't terribly straight. Also, I remember running into some confusion about the garboard and trying to get that just right. So this, these planks all have sort of a frown shape to them, which is unusual for a dory, but you wouldn't notice it just sitting here looking at it. And so I will hopefully get some garboards on this week. That's one of my goals. Over here, it's going to be the last time y'all are going to see this. We're going to send this guy away Monday on up to its new home in Maine. And one of the things that we did here that is of interest, if you come on, look inside. So we specialize in non-stick varnish, or non-skid varnish, I guess, here at Lowell's, because the environment is so dusty. Here, I've been doing this for a while, but we've got this non-skid on the inside, perfectly non-skiddy. We didn't use traditional non-skid. What we did, and we should really talk to John about this because he did it and did a great job, was rolled paint on the floorboards and then sprinkled sawdust from the bandsaw on top and then ran the roller over the top, kind of pushed it down in. When that all dried, you get this non-stick surface. The reason for that is if down the road these get all, chipped up and stuff and you want to go and repaint them, if you try to sand a floorboard that's got the hard non-skid in it, you can't sand it. You can't do anything except try to scrape all that off and start over. Here, all this is wood shavings, or sawdust really, and paint that's creating that texture, and you can just sand right over it, sand it smooth, and do the whole thing again. So that's why we do it that way. Yeah, John, I was in the middle of ordering bow eyes and hardware, so I will get to it. But we'll take this away on Monday, and that will be that for this. And then in its place, the goal here really is to get, we've got a little skiff to build. The bottom's over there. The pieces are coming together. We'll try and get that done. But the goal is then going to be to really kind of empty this place out and get it clean swept and ready for building that gig for Atlantic Challenge, which again, being at 38 feet, 38 and a little bit of change, having 48 feet in the shop, we're only going to have about a 5-foot walk around at either end, which is going to be a real nuisance for getting around the shop, really, but it's also going to be a nuisance for plank handling and such. The goal is to build that boat with no butts, which means you're going to scarf all these planks together at 38 feet, which is ridiculous. Scarf them together, spile them, hang them, handling, all that's just going to be a super big pain. I may consider doing the glue up on the boat itself, which helps in the handling a little bit, but we're going to see how that, we're going to do a little trial and error. That's what's going on inside. Outside, we're painting dories, getting them ready to go in the water. Our docks, we moved around the other day, and we need to do a little maintenance on those and a little reconfiguring before those go in. And with spring being here, it's time for our spring launch, almost time. What we've done is scheduled it for the 24th of May, which is next month. We're going to have Arista Holden here from Atlantic Challenge for that weekend. She's going to have a big gig with her, a big rowboat, and she's going to run a class and give a lecture, and so that's all going to happen on Saturday. And so our spring launch will be from 4 to 6 on that Saturday, and then Arista is going to give a talk about Atlantic Challenge at 6. So you can come, you can have a burger, have a couple of beers, and listen to a lecture and check out a big boat, and that'll be pretty cool. So always trying to keep it fun and interesting and have something to look at. So that'll be a nice new big boat to look at, and it'll give you a sense of what exactly it is that we're going to be building in here over the next year. So please join us then. We are talking, haven't scheduled, but talking about a striper fishing tournament in June, but would love to find someone to organize that for us. It is, I've never run a fishing tournament, none of us here have. The idea, and I get in trouble when I spit these ideas out in meetings and they go on a calendar, but the idea for me was that we have 6 or 8 boats. They go out striper fishing for a set amount of time. They come back. The slot for stripers, keepers, is like 2 inches. So whatever the longest or heaviest fish is in that slot is the winner. And then we take all the fish that came in and we have a big fish fry here on the lawn. We grill up some striper, we make some ceviche, we do all kinds of fish tacos, whatever, and then invite our community to come on down and have some beers and eat some striper, which I think would be pretty cool. So anyway, it's a great idea. It sounds pretty easy. It sounded easy to me, but the fishing tournament part of it's a little outside of my scope. But I can pivot and start doing that. So that's the idea for June, and then we'll talk long before then. So still calling them updates, or we're trying to rebrand?
I've just been calling them updates.
Okay. Why change a good thing?
Did you like what's doing in the boat shop? Yeah.
What's the haps at the? That's probably super antiquated by now. The kids are like, what? What are you talking about?